Morning, Rick. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are in the world. Great to have you all back. Before I get started, of course, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. The information on this channel is provided for education, information purposes only, without any express or implied warranty of any kind, including warranties of accuracy, completeness, or fitness for any particular purpose. Please feel free to read this. If you want to go down in the description below, there's also another disclaimer letting you know on all of my videos that I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice and for educational purposes only. Great, we've got that out of the way. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Is the mic static? We got some static in the mic. Everybody hear me okay? Can everybody hear me okay before I keep going? Static, let's fix it. Throw up a one if we're back and it sounds good. One for good, two for bad. All right. Got that fixed. Technology 101. If it doesn't work, unplug it and plug it back in. All right, great to be back this morning. Taking a look this morning. I said it just now earlier, but my main focus today is definitely going to be the indexes and gold. And if you all are, going through your charts this morning and you're not really seeing too much, just find the ones that stand out to you. Okay, so earlier this week on Monday, going over and saying I'm looking for templates that build a sell high opportunity and things like that. And I've actually still got my notes up that I left up there from last night. And some new ones this morning. Obviously, I put this little line here and things like that. But end of day consolidation on NASDAQ, first red day. We had a peak formation day one of the 3-day cycle at the high of the current week. When I was going to do this analysis, it was right at 6 o'clock my Eastern side of the United States. And it gapped down. There's this huge gap down now. They've gapped down through previous day's low. And I had left this up here. I want to see evidence that there's volume trapped at the high of the week. And that is definitely something that could be presenting right now. with this gap down. We gapped up at the beginning of the week, got people chasing the long into the high of the week, day one, 3-day cycle. Now we've gapped back down. We've already filled the gap from earlier this week. Not going to worry too much about that. Some little extra details. Number one, we do have 3 sessions outside of a breakout on day 3. So day 3 of the week, right? Day 2 of the 3-day cycle, but day 3 of the week. And I'm watching this last week's close. That is going to be a extremely important level, and leaving this space to get down to previous week's low. Given that, if I could, my computer would stop being so slow with this stream. We are week 1 of breakouts to the downside. So week 1 down, downtrending market, pumped it back up into the high, and now first red day, and maybe now looking for a trend trade in the direction of the down moving market. Now, normally I would really enjoy seeing the presentation of these sell high opportunities, maybe even outside of the day's range or the previous day's range, but at the high of the day, that would be fine. I really like to see these whenever they make a lower low and then they're pulling back into the New York session, so that way I have a lot of space to get back down to the low of the day, going from the high of the day back down to the low of the day. So even though the template is looking good for the week, the presentation on the day matters a lot to me as well. So now we have, I need to look for my high and my low. We've got a high up here. There was a low here. They went a little bit lower and they pulled back. Then they made a lower low and then they pulled back. So I've got a high here. And my low is essentially the closing price from last week, or the Friday's close. So I've got that up there. Little box of volume going on here. We're going to see how this goes into the next hour and a half. There's news at 9:45 today, so I have to wait really for that. We'll see what happens in the meantime. Going on to US30. So US30 was not a week 1 of breakouts down. However, we did have 3 weeks of breakouts up. And actually, hold on. Let me zoom in a little bit further on this. Yeah, so they popped back up at the last minute. But 3 weeks of breakouts to the upside, and very, very close to week 1 of breakouts down. Again, looking for the same opportunity, the weekly templates on this pair as the NASDAQ. And we'll throw this up there from last week's close. Looking for templates that give me sell high opportunities. We got a first green day on Monday, immediately followed by a first red day on Tuesday. Day 1 of the 3-day cycle. Now we have day 2 of the 3-day cycle. We should be trending away from day 1 highs, which as of right now we have been. Don't know if that's going to help me in the New York session. However, different from the NASDAQ, and what I do like to see is we're making lower lows and lower highs. We do have 3 sessions of breakout outside of previous day's low, which, a lot of times on day 3 could end up in reversal, but not always. Usually I look for that scenario after we have 2 to 3 weeks of breakouts in a direction. Maybe let's say we've been going 2 weeks up. We've been going up for 2 weeks, and then on day 3 we get 3 days of breakouts outside of a previous day's range, telling me that the market could be overextended and that reversal is more likely to occur. Whereas sometimes you get 3 sessions of breakout outside of a previous day's level. Oh no, where did it go? I've lost it. Maybe it was last week. It could have been last week. Anyways, we had a similar kind of template last week, or maybe earlier this week. It was definitely last week, of where we had 3 sessions of breakout, but we didn't have those 2 to 3 weeks in a direction. And then actually it was natural gas. Yeah, here we go, natural gas. So this was not 2 to 3 weeks of breakouts in a direction. In fact, we actually had 5 weeks of breakouts to the downside, and then on this day we had 3 sessions of breakout, except we didn't have that overextended feature of multiple weeks of breakouts in a direction. Now, we did get a first red day yesterday on Tuesday, but the initial day itself did not reverse back down, but they did come back down the following day, which is nice to see. Anyways, getting back to this, Continuing to look at US30, I do prefer this pair over the NASDAQ because of all of the things that I just said, right? I like to see things that are pumping back up into the beginning of a session. We're making lower lows and lower highs. We have a nice three-peak pattern, stair-stepping its way back up. We've got space to get back down to the low. They haven't retested the low. They've left this little gap here, getting people to go long off the low of the day. Maybe they have their stop sitting down here, things like that. That's going to be my thesis. US30, as of right now at 8:13 in the morning, we've still got a lot of time to go, is my pair to be watching right now. All right, going to look at gold. All right, zooming out. Let's zoom out a little bit because this is going to be important. Let's go to a 1 hour. I'm on a 5-minute chart. There we go. All right, so we had a failed breakout at the high of the month. 3 weeks of breakouts, 1, 2, 3. Third week has failed, and this would have been week 1 of the 3-week cycle, trending away from week 1 highs if that were to present. So I'm looking for a sell high opportunity. Day 1 of the 3-day cycle here on Monday. Day 2 of the 3-day cycle on Tuesday was an inside day, first green day. And now we are on day 3 of the 3-day cycle. Are they working the high or are they working the low? I'm going to be watching the high of the day as we get up there later in the session to see what is happening. They've already began to lift price early in the morning, in the gap time, making a run. So like I said, watching that high of the day to see if they start to work that level in order for me to get that reversal back down. Okay. That is why I am watching indexes and gold. I have a very solid, clear, concise thesis for those. Last night when I was looking at these pairs, this was definitely on my list. Top of the list, just about top 3. Because we had 3 days of breakouts to the downside. Boom, boom, boom. We got this inside day, but, I mean, look at this. Consolidation. Spike the high, spike the low, go back into consolidation. And I had this little note for myself looking for a parabolic channel or a short squeeze or even a long squeeze pattern depending on what it looked like when I came to the screen. And obviously the short squeeze was absolutely beautiful. It's perfect. Consolidation under previous day's close. Asian session. Higher high, pullback. You can see the nice 1, 2, 3 back down, 1, 2, sideways, 3. Engulfment, 245 coming into the second hour of the London session. Really, really pretty pattern. This is one for the books, one to take a picture of. But anyways, I'm kind of a charting nerd, if you will. So, Space, this is platinum. Somebody last week, his name is Neil, he put me on to platinum, and he said this looks really good. And also a lot of people in Discord trade platinum. I just really had never looked at it. But it looks like it moves really clean. I've been kind of looking at it, going back and observing, and it looks really nice. So I've started watching this pair. Okay. Now, with this, I was looking for a short squeeze at the low, and now we've pumped it all the way back up. We have broken out a previous day's high. Let's zoom out a little bit and take a look. Last week was week 1 of breakouts to the downside. We've got this squeeze coming off of the low now, and we've triggered a previous day's high. However, this pair does look to be trading very clean at the breaks, and we do have this nice little stair step up and what appears to be maybe a little ramp. Ooh. A little ramp going up into the high, maybe ramping up into that third level. This might be a pair for me to watch as well. This might be my 4th. NASDAQ US30 gold and platinum. This looks really clean. I might be watching this. Okay. Silver. I really didn't have any interest in silver yesterday. It was not as pretty as platinum. It was not as pretty as the indexes or anything like that. But I'll go over it real quick. Week 1 of breakouts down, so still looking for those same sell high opportunities, some kind of weekly template that tells me to be selling high. Yesterday was not a first red day or anything like that. But we are back up now to or at the high of the current week. So if I was going to watch this pair, this would be the level that I would want to be watching the high of the week, okay, on this Wednesday. Are they working the high? Are they working the low? Watching to see them reach back up into the high of the week maybe for that selling opportunity. But other than that, I don't have anything for silver. Okay, oil was week 1 of breakouts down, and also 3 days of breakouts down as of yesterday. And that would normally indicate to look for a buying opportunity with a higher high on the inside or something like that. And this pair also has done a nice job of pumping its way back up into the high. So if I was watching this pair, I would be watching the high of the day, maybe even, this level here, for them to pump it back up into the high and then maybe reverse back down. Which this also looks to be trading fairly clean, but I don't want to get into watching too many pairs. I've never traded silver. On futures, silver spread is not bad. Space. Yanni, good stuff. Good to see you. All right, take a look at natural gas. Zoom out a little bit. We had day 1 of breakouts on Monday. Then we got a first red day yesterday. Looking for a sell high opportunity. They've already triggered the previous day's low today on day 3 of the week. And we can look at the previous week's close. Something like this. If we do have volume trapped up high, we might continue to go back down. But 5 weeks of breakouts down. Very clean, nice stair-stepping pattern on up. 3 sessions of breakout, nice consolidation, and a broken down market. Just on the day itself, really not my favorite pattern. Seems you don't trade the currencies very much. No, I don't. Especially not with futures. They just don't move enough for me. CAD, again, we're still, I think... Oh, hold on. Did we break free? Oh, we may have broken free. I'm going to continue to just hold out for this pair, but we may have broke free now of this sideways consolidation. I'm going to keep watching this for a little bit. Just kind of avoiding it for now, but I want to see them get away from this consolidation. Okay, take a look at the pound. And we had inside day on Monday, day 2 of breakouts down. And let's see, we got 3 days of short traders in the market. It looks like it's already started to squeeze. Okay, I'm just going to avoid this as well. Yes, we have, Nathan, but I can go back. We've got lots of time. I'll go back for you. All right, same with Euro. Really not anything particularly awesome. Yeah, TR, that's a good point. Oil also has news later today. They should be at 10:30 for the inventories. Okay, we can go back, though. We can take a look at the indexes. I'll review these one more time since they are my go-to for today. Week 1 of breakouts down on the NASDAQ. After multiple weeks of breakouts up, we now have week 1 down. So looking for a sell-high opportunity, some kind of 3-day template within the week that could indicate to me to look for a sell high opportunity. Monday was a pump day. Then we got Tuesday as a first red day, peak formation high at the high of the current week. Day 1 of the 3-day cycle, volume trapped above closing price, volume trapped above previous day's high. That has now gapped down on the day itself today. 3 sessions of breakout outside of the previous day's range. I am still looking for a sell high opportunity. However, it kind of looks like this is already doing what I was hoping for it to do at 8:21 in the morning whenever I look for indexes to make their move at 9:30. So, do with that what you will, but we're down there a little bit. US30 is the same template, except, we got this first red day and then 3 sessions of breakout, and instead of just continuing to capitulate down as NASDAQ is doing, we've pumped up in 3 peaks back up towards the high. So this is probably my favorite pair for the day as far as indexes go. First red day is a break of previous day's low. No. First red day is really good in a down moving market that is pumped up. How do I know it's a down moving market? Just, the basics of trading. The fact that the market only does 3 things: breakout, trend, breakout, reverse, stay in a trading range. We've broken out of a previous week's range. We've broken out of a previous week's low, down moving market. And then whenever you have a down moving market, you're looking for rallies to fail. All right, so we had a rally, essentially a big rally back up, a pump day, and then a day that has opened, attempted to trade higher. They broke the previous day's high, and the breakout failed, closing below the opening price for that day, making that our first red day. All right. I know I said that all really fast. If you need to rewind it, go ahead, but that's the best way to explain it. Now, you can also get first red days in an up-moving market, but I'm going to look for a first red day in extended markets like 3 weeks of breakouts, markets that have been going higher and they've blown off in a direction and given a first red day. There's still good downside opportunity for those, but most times in an up-moving market, when you get a first red day, a lot of times it's going to be a trap, so you got to watch out for that. All right. Good stuff. All right, I'm going to get my chart set up so that we can start observing. I get some of this stuff closed, so hopefully my computer doesn't bog down too much, but it is inevitable, I'm sure. Okay, so I'm going to be putting NASDAQ top left. I'm going to be putting the US30 top right. We're going to put gold bottom left, and then I'm going to put platinum bottom right. There we go. I've set it up. It is done. I'm going to take my face off of here so you don't have to watch my ugly mug this whole entire live stream. There we go. And we will get into observing. We can sit here and stare at it for this whole time. Get rid of this. I've got too many pretty colors on my screen. I need to get rid of some of this stuff. Too much going on. It's going to stress me out. We can get rid of this. Okay, Nathan, so it's not just any down close day. Think about you're in a down moving market. All right, we're in a down moving market, and then you get a rally off the lows. So we call this a large pumping day. You just want to see a large pumping day. All right, this would be like right here. And then on the following day, Taylor Trading Technique, he talks about day one of the 3-day cycle being where they've tried to force an extreme, and it's essentially failed. Stacey talks about the first red day. This is all kind of comes together all into one big bundle. Day one, 3-day cycle. They've attempted to force the high, and it failed, and they closed. But they closed below the open, turning that into a down close candle. The behavior is important. You want to see them make the highs in the morning and the lows in the afternoon. That is the most ideal situation. So you've got a large pumping day in a down moving market, a day that attempted to go higher and failed, and now we have all this space to get back down to the low the following day. All right, I've got a lot of videos on this stuff. The playlist is linked down in the description of these videos or of these live streams, and going to be for the rest of my videos that I ever produce. That playlist will be there. So if you want to go and check those out, there's plenty of videos in there. Okay, 8:28 in the morning. So we got a couple minutes to the new 15-minute bar. The metals just opened at 8:20, and pretty sure that's the metals open, but regardless, waiting for that 9 o'clock, 9:30, 10. We've got 9:45 news. Let me go check and see what that news was. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. You're gonna ruin it. We got going on here. Okay, so Wednesday, we had a bunch of Euro news earlier today, and then 9:45, we got CAD. We got Flash Manufacturing, PMI, Flash Services. 10:30, some more CAD news. Tomorrow, advanced GDP, good. Unemployment, okay. And then Friday, all right. Good stuff. Kind of a late news event, but Dong, you're already short. Yep. I probably would have been looking to do the same if I was not in the middle of explaining things on the stream, but hey, no worries. We're all here for it. Let's see here. Gotta get my broker. Let's see here. It just got quiet in here. That felt weird. I don't like that. Okay, so NASDAQ following through. They've already filled that gap back down to previous week's low. They've tapped into it. Platinum is doing a 1, 2, 3 to the high right now. 15-minute chart. Let's go down to a 5. They've just engulfed a peak formation at the high of the day. Yeah, whenever I go quiet for too long, it's like, oh yeah, there's other people out there listening. I should probably break the silence. Okay, so we got a 5-minute engulfment back down. Nice little 1, 2, 3. We got this ramp. Everything seems to be, fairly clean. Want to make sure this isn't a trap. Pretty early in the morning. Where's 8:20? 10, 15. That down close bar was the market open. Okay, new 15-minute bar just formed. Did the 15-minute bar engulf that 1, 2, 3? Yes, it did. 1 bar, 2 bar, 3 bars to the high. Traps above push 2. I don't want to see them go back up above here. I want to see them keep people from getting out. Keslo, good morning. Make sure to skip those ads for you all. So we are still resting on top of previous day's high. Market only does 3 things: breakout, pullback, trend, breakout, reverse, standard trading range. We're broken out right now. Is the breakout going to fail today, or are we just going to continue to pin down into previous day's high, work the high? Maybe this turns into the bottom of the box and we continue to trend back up. I never really know for sure. But as of right now, things are looking okay. Okay, futures, gold. I don't know why I said futures. It's just gold. Holy cow. Going back up. We're hitting the high of the day. Platinum's looking good. I say that now. Things can change in an instant. I'm seeing a little descending triangle off this 5-minute bar engulfment, 1-minute chart. I'm going to see if it follows through, if this previous day's high holds, or if it actually fails. All right, looking around, US30. Those 3 peaks, they haven't really pumped it back up, but they have dropped back down under that EMA. Can we back test? Yeah, absolutely. You can back test the system over and over again. Day 1 breakouts, day 2, day 3, first red, first green days, 3 weeks of breakouts, 3 sessions of breakouts, all those different things. Okay, we're 37 minutes into this hour. Platinum not following through as of yet. Big bar down 1, second bar down, really no follow through. We will see. what would I need to see for it to actually follow through, for it to stop pitter-pattering in one area and actually start expanding? Good method for back testing. Yeah, give me a second and I'll give you a better answer. Okay, so good method for back testing. Going back and looking for, no, I was watching how it's just sitting here pitter-pattering in one area of the chart, and there's no good entry bar. However, good methods of back testing, what you can do is I just go back with all my levels up on the screen and find areas where the template was set up properly. Build a binder, basically build a playbook for yourself. Go find all the different scenarios and the best price patterns that you can find. Build yourself a binder like that, and then study that binder. The binder takes forever to make, but it's worth it. Hold on, I can show you what I'm talking about. Let's see here. I think this is the one. Yep, so this is the study binder from the boot camp. Go through, give yourself a scenario. And then give yourself, the template, the 3-day template, and then on the day what the entry would have looked like and why. Put all those details into it. Just find a whole bunch of examples like that, and that is what I have found to be the best way to slam those patterns into your head. See the stuff over and over and over and over again without even having to trade it, and then go start forward testing on a demo account, things like that. Yep, there's news at 9:45. Platinum's pulled back to previous day's high, and it looks like maybe it's going to pump back up. We'll see. They've slammed it back down once, twice, back into this previous day's high, this engulfment. We're under the EMA. We could just be coiling to make that explosive move down, but 5-minute chart, higher highs, higher lows. Engulfment, sure, but we just traded back down into the low. They might just continue to go higher. very early in the morning. You can really see what I'm talking about. I'll go down to the one. How it was slamming down here, and then this, I was seeing this little descending triangle, and I was waiting to see if it was going to, explode through, because that would have been a good entry for me. Instead, they came out in 1, 2, 3, down, up, down, and they engulfed it back up to the upside. Yeah, that's a danger zone. All right. Not the kind of price movement that I wanted to see coming out of a pattern. All right. Now, if they would have slammed through there, they started to capitulate, drop down, maybe I could have waited for an up close bar. I would have sold the up close bar, or something along those lines. But pitter pattering their way through a price pattern like that, or a chart pattern, that's usually going to be a trap, especially being in the first hour. Yep. Yep, Fibro. I'm just a huge fan of seeing, what right looks like over and over again, and of course understanding the other aspects of what wrong looks like as well. Because there's lots of times where you get a first green day and then it just capitulates down. What I like to do is figure out why. Why do I think that it capitulated down instead of going higher? Or did the first green day play out? It just played out in an earlier session, because that happens quite frequently as well. And then, part of the playbook that I currently am using and have been using is based off of that. Like, what does right look like? Yes, but there's also trap scenarios that can be very profitable as well. So what would a trap scenario look like, and why, and what relationship to the 3-day cycle does it have? Taylor talked about, in an up move, and also Al Brooks uses the same ideas as well. Like, the same stuff just circulates over and over again, just in different forms and whatnot, which is really cool to see. But so in an up move, let's say that the daily chart is trending higher, and you get especially in a strong up move, you get one down close day in a strong up move. That down close day a lot of times is a trap. You might think it's a first red day, but then the next day, closing price, we have got people trapped at the close trying to sell something short. I want to see evidence of that, and then I can take those first green day traps, first red day traps, things like that. Yeah. Okay, we're 45 minutes into an hour. And about a minute left on this bar. Yep. I'm watching that as well, Andrew. Oh, that's interesting. Everyone keeps saying RTY, and I can actually trade that on here. Cool. Still a little bit new to futures. It's all right. Cool. Now I know. US30 consolidation under the EMA. Bit of a 3-push pullback though. Which is concerning. Definitely best to just wait. Wait. Don't get caught up in these consolidations. Actually, the Russell had a really good first green day trade yesterday. It was day one of breakouts to the upside, first green day, low of day trade. What time did that trade come at? Right at 9:30. Oh, that's pretty good. Now today is day 2 of breakouts. So what is the other solution or the other thing that could happen with platinum and gold? You know, with these inside days, they don't have to reverse at the high of the day, high of the week. This could actually just turn into an expansion of that inside bar. You know, they may not fail at all. And in that case, what would actually be happening is inside day and a trend trade, an expansion of that inside bar up. Same thing with platinum. So definitely watching and being careful of that, because if they're in an expansion mode to the upside and I try to short it, I'm going to get caught in a short squeeze, which I definitely don't want to do. All right, so NASDAQ filled that space. They filled that gap. Now started to expand the weekly bar to the downside. this. 1, 2, sideways, 3 to the high. Traps above, push 2. We've wicked up, not allowing those people to get out or get significant profit. This engulfment bar took out the high of this bar. And this is, of course, a weekly chart, but same concepts can apply. Gold going vertical, squeezing to go higher. Space, were you long on gold? I waited for you to... You said you were going to message me yesterday, but... you never did. Okay, 5 minutes to a new hour. All right. No worries. Wall Street seems in a foul mood. Yeah. All right, this 15-minute chart, we got down closed candles and they're ascending the close of those down closed bars, which could indicate a squeeze, but let's see how the rest of the day looked. 1 down, 2 down, 3 down. Engulfment up. That one bar, this 1 15-minute bar, trapped all 3 of these people who tried to, sell the close of those bars. We got a breakout and a consolidation. They're continuing to ascend those closes higher and higher. Okay, the new hour is open. You pulled 30 out of it. Space. I typically don't look at BTC futures now. Still watching platinum. The timing of this push down was a little off. We were 2 minutes into the bar and they were already pushing down, and a lot of times towards the end of the 5-minute bar they might pin back up. So I'm watching how this 5-minute bar closes. Sturdy. Good to hear from you. Man, I hope you're doing all right. All right, we're going to see. Oh, there we go. Platinum. High of day, high of week. We had a really clean stair stepping our way up there. And then this engulfment early in the session. Still no lower low, though. It may just be a squeeze. We had that inside day yesterday. They are working this previous day's high might turn into the bottom of a box if they don't engulf back down. Or week one of breakouts down. Okay, new 5-minute bar. Keeping an eye on everything. We got that news like everyone's been saying, and I've been saying 9:45. We also have the 9:30 open. Here we go. It's either going to follow through or it's going to hit this wick and stop. Oh no, I've moved my thing. There we go. Ficos, good to hear from you. Yep, so we were pinning down through that wick. See if we, if this 5-minute bar expands further to the downside, that's a good sign. If not, bad sign. Stuart, hello, hello. I love to see everyone coming back together. It's awesome. Okay, 55 seconds left on this 5-minute bar. I want to see them start expanding down outside of this consolidation. Things are looking good. Of course, things can change in an instant and at a heartbeat's notice. Our restoration. Hey, how you doing? All right, so we had a lower close. They've closed outside of that pin. That is a good sign. Now, of course, breakouts, a lot of breakouts fail. But they've made this lower low now outside of this pen, and we should see, I'm going to say should see expansion now to the downside if this trade is expected to continue. No, I still focus on New York Open. The metals, though, they do like to move a little bit earlier sometimes, so I'm good with that. New 15-minute bars forming. We're coming into the New York Open. Nice seeing gold follow through a little bit. A lot of it. Good stuff. Okay, so silver's just made a lower low. This break, this lower low here. So maybe looking for a 3-push pullback. I said silver. Platinum, excuse me. Yeah, I think it's going to be good to wait for the open. This is good. So I shorted platinum on the close of this 5-minute bar. got to tell you, I really didn't like that it was, this started to look really good. And then it started consolidating down here, and I noticed that this is the first time they've made a lower low, so taking some off the table, if not everything. And also a little note for myself, because I'll probably go back and rewatch this, because these are good for me to for journaling process. But I scaled in a little too fast as it was accelerating down, and that's causing me to need to take quite a bit off the table down here before we might actually get the larger move. Really just a note for everybody. When you scale in too fast or too much too soon, and it brings your average, I scaled in kind of incorrectly as well, where I brought my average down a little bit too far. And that has now resulted in me needing to take a little bit off the table so it doesn't go against me for a pullback. Also, I'm noticing I've never traded platinum before. Today's the first day I've ever taken a trade on it. And the commissions, I think the commissions on this they seem a little bit wild. Hold on, let me take a look at this. Okay, so it's not commission. That's interesting. I'm talking about platinum. It's not. The fees are a little bit high. No, they're not too bad. Yeah, I'm thinking gold was probably the better trade. 1, 2, 3 to the high and an engulfment. I really should have been watching gold. I got sucked into platinum. The engulfment was at the same time too. That's a shame. Very well. We're gonna have to see. I'm gonna have to wait for the open now and see how things behave. Yeah, gold's making his run. No, gold I should have sold soon after this engulfment down. Just like I did here on platinum. First engulfment, 1, 2, 3 to the high. Second engulfment down, and I entered. 1, 2, 3 to the high, engulfment. Second engulfment down. Based off the peak formation high and things like that. My entry on platinum was really good. It just didn't follow through as nicely as gold did. Really didn't make jack diddly on the on that platinum trade. Whereas on gold, I would have made substantially more. All right, we're going back into patience mode. Need to wait. I'm gonna run and grab me some water. All right. Yeah, we got that 9:45 news. New York Open in 2 minutes, and really prefer to wait for the news. By prefer, I mean I'm going to. Where was that question? Someone said something about, have you heard the shift in Earth's magnetic field polarity? I have not, but I did hear about, if you all know about Yellowstone, I guess it's like one of the things exploded or something. The, I don't know what to call it. I'm not a scientist. I'm a trader. But one of the, the volcano didn't erupt, but it started exploding, which is, you know, if that volcano actually does explode, it's gonna be a problem. This video is gonna get censored now for me saying that, but whatever. I use forexfactory.com. And I don't trust TradingView because there's literally major red news today, and I don't see any of those listed on TradingView. TradingView is a liar. Not literally, of course. I'm just, as far as the news calendar goes, I don't trust it at all. Forex Factory seems to be much more reliable. Okay, came down here in this little drive, down, up, down. Gold coming back as well. Beautiful reason and a perfect example of why if I take a trade before 9:30, I'm very quick to get out. Because a lot of times they're going to come back, especially with news late in the session, they're going to come back and get you. A lot of times. This is exactly why I did not enter on US30. The way that it was pulling back. Yeah. And that's why with so many of these trades, if I get into something and it's just not doing something like this, where it's just expanding a range and it's just going, I immediately start feeling like I'm in the wrong move and I need to be exiting because, these types of trades, they should be exploding. They should be expanding ranges, pushing boundaries, not just pitter-pattering. Now, sometimes their pitter-patter will come and then it'll fall away or explode or whatever, but I'd say more often than not, if it is pitter-pattering in a direction and you're just holding on, hoping and praying, they are building up to go back against you. I think so for prop firms, I think the leverage is, I've actually really never looked into it. I've never thought to, if I'm being completely honest. For prop firms, for whatever website that you're using, though, you can just look and see for your broker what they offer. And I think for futures, if I'm mistaken, somebody please correct me, but I think with futures, it's like by the pair, how much leverage they're willing to offer per pair. Whereas when I was trading Forex, when I was using the offshore broker, you could have anywhere from 1 to 50 all the way up to 1 to 500. Honestly, though, the less leverage I need to use, the better. I'd rather not use a crazy amount of leverage in general, just because that means I'm oversizing a position. All I have is dollar signs in my eyes, and I'm not paying attention to risk. Can I stop for a moment? I'm listening to another YouTuber. What do you mean? What does that mean, Vicos? Oh. I was like, man, the disrespect. All jokes. All jokes. Okay, NASDAQ, we've popped back up. 930's open. 5 minutes in. We popped back up. This little down, up, down. Continuing to push lower. We've got news in 10 minutes. That's going to hinder me from being allowed to do anything. Nah, he's just joking. He's just joking. He's been around for a bit. I've got thick skin. The trolls that come in here every once in a while, those are the ones that, if it happens again, I'm just going to, I don't have moderators on YouTube, but I'll just remove because we don't need all that negativity around here. Especially not in the midst of me actually trading, because I can't deal with that. Yeah, that's always painful when you get a trade that's like set up really nice, really clean, and then you look at the time and you've got news like in a few minutes. It's like, well, discipline. You know, you just got to wait on it. All right, so one of the things with gold, one of the ways that markets like to consolidate and then expand, consolidation, spike the high, spike the low. Now we're back in the middle. This is a peak formation high, peak formation low within the session. So the market's put in a high, they put in a low. Now maybe looking at the third hour, peak high in the first hour, peak low in the second hour. Maybe looking at third hour on gold, which would make sense with this news and all that stuff. Similar, but not the same. Consolidation, they put in a high, they've came down, they've put in a low, peak formation low, down, up, down. Up, down, up. Up, down, up, and then a down. So we got an M and a W. They put in a high, they've come down, they've put in a low. Now we're back in the middle. Same thing on gold. And US30's put in a low. High was put in the gap time, but obviously we're trading back up into the high right now. And again, lower low. All this in the middle is kind of just consolidation. Now we're going back up towards the high. Watching this high, so I've got this line here. 3 sessions of breakout outside of previous day's range. Really got to be careful of that short squeeze. Again, there's the short squeeze. Okay. Doesn't mean they're going to continue to go higher, but always keeping that in the back of my brain. Same thing on NASDAQ. We've got 3 sessions of breakout on day 3. Again, that doesn't mean they can't just keep going lower. Breakout, pullback, continue to trend. Breakout, pullback, continue to trend. Again, looking for templates, though, not just trading the direction. We got 7 minutes to the news. NASDAQ continuing to capitulate. Where is it going? It's a shame. It really is a shame. But that's the battle that we have to kind of face here. This thing's going off the map. We're down 300 pips today from the beginning of the day. Let's see, did anything else pop up decent in a way that's template worthy? Take a look at oil. Natural gas. No. Yeah, I just pulled up silver. They took previous day's high. They took the high of the day. TEM? Joseph, what are you referring to, TEM? I'm going to feel silly once you answer, I'm sure, but all these acronyms got me all over the place sometimes. Let's see here. Okay, so I am noticing that the Dow, they've done 3 strong bars back up. Of course, this is a squeeze. So they squeeze back up 1, 2, 3. Oh, template? Yeah. Okay. We got 3 minutes to the news. John, good to hear from you. Natural gas? Let me go take a look. We got 2 minutes to this news. Let me hurry up. Okay, this is also done a little 1, sideways 2, 3, up, back down. Should have volume trapped or people trapped trading to the high right there. We're back down under the EMA. Have we taken previous day's low? Yes. But it kind of seems like we're just working down at the low. Are we at the low of the week? Yeah. Look what level that's getting worked right now. Me personally, I would be very careful. Because we're at the low of the week. We're at the week's this week's open. Seems like they're working that. Now, of course, if it follows through, that's going to be a really great trade, but it kind of looks a little squeeze-like. Taking a news trade. Not on the news, no, but looking for a template setup after the news, yes. How much time I got? 9 seconds? All right. Okay, seeing some fairly violent reaction on the metals. Not as much on the indexes, though. Okay, this little 1, 2, 3, up, down. No engulfment, though. Just pinned down. Squeezing. Squeezing. I'm not sure. I pulled it up a few times and I have it filtered to red news only. Um, there was definitely news at 9:45. All right, I'm not gonna have anything on this current 5-minute bar. I'm very well hydrated, so I'm gonna take a 30-second break. Come right back. All right, gold continuing to go vertical, pinned down, right back up. Still watching US30. Of course, we're not at the high of the day, but we are at the high of the session. One minute and 18 seconds left on this bar. They've done a little bit of a 1, 2, 3 back down to that EMA. Let's see how this 5-minute bar closes. Or if they just pin down into it. Additionally, we also have the third hour coming in 10 minutes. Wouldn't mind seeing them flush this low. Ooh, that's looking decent. It's got potential. As long as they don't wick through this low. All right, I'm about to close partials. Right about... We got 2 minutes left on this bar. So we're looking at a... If it's going to reverse, it should reverse soon on this bar. All right, I just took partials. I was in 5 contracts, and I've just removed 3 at 50 ticks of profit. Looking for another full expansion of the range. Back down to the low of the day. We're at the low of the day again. Need to see them follow through. This is looking really good. Of course, looks can be deceiving. 1 minute left on this 5-minute bar. I'm at break even. So even this is a risk-free trade. I've already gotten paid. Looking for that second full expansion at 100 ticks down. $37 seconds left on this bar. Still expanding to the downside. Good. Let's see if we get down to the second full expansion. New 5-minute bar is formed. I would prefer not to see them have a pullback. No, I'm watching US30. I'm in on US30. I'm out. 100 ticks down off the... that was a phenomenal trade. That was a good one. That was a really good one. Let's... I don't want to go full screen mode. I'm going to do 1 minute. I'll show you. Okay, so this is after the news. All right, this engulfment back down. Look at the little 3. I mean, this is a beautiful, beautiful 3 push pattern. 1, 2, 3. Death candle. Engulfment. Right back down. All right, I don't think I could have got a better entry. Yeah, really happy with that. Good stuff. $100 pips straight down, no stress. 3 peaks pattern, right? And then I was talking about it. 1, 2, 3 to the high. Is that an inside bar? Not quite. Next bar, 5 minutes down, engulfment. Okay. Something on RTY. Let's go find it. Oh, yeah. Oh, beautiful. Yeah. High of day as well, I think. Yep. High of day and closing price. Honestly, better than US30. As far as templates go and as far as... oh, we didn't get the 1, 2, 3 up there, but still good. Big drives to the high. I don't think I could have used the 5 minute on this. I would have been forced to use the 1 minute, which I'd really prefer whenever the 5 minute and the 1 kind of, I can use either one. Makes me feel a bit more safe, but still really good. Good stuff. Anybody else take US30? What made me confident not to look for a pullback? The death candle. Look at this. The volume is trapped. See this line right here? This line going across right here? My thesis is that, or my understanding of how price moves and how psychology works, right? Which I go over extensively in the boot camp, in the study binder and things like that. Looking for the 3 push pattern, putting stops above push 2 because that's where people should be trapped. Things like that. So if we look at a 1, 2, 3 on this 5 minute chart, right? Maybe a trader this caught people's attention. Notice how all the bars are relatively small, and I know not staring at bars and things like that, but it's the psychology piece that I find interesting and I find important and I find extremely useful. The candles are relatively small compared to this bar, which means that bar got somebody's attention. Maybe they started trading it, maybe not, but somebody definitely bought this bar. And I guarantee, well, I won't guarantee, but some degree of certainty that more people bought this bar than this bar. Because we as human beings need to see all this confirmation for us to feel confident about what we're doing. And then the third bar, now we've got the latecomers, the ones that weren't confident enough to buy this bar. They weren't confident enough to buy this bar. But now we've got this bar, and everyone's bought here, here and here. So when it reverses very quickly, people that started buying these 2 bars should be caught. This down close bar, 2 minutes before the new 5 minute bar here, the engulfment back down, these people should be caught. And you can see it now down on the 1 minute chart. It's a really nice 3 peaks pattern, 3 push pattern, 1, 2, 3, engulfment back down. My best fill price would have been this bar right here on a 1 minute chart. So if I bought this bar, it's the most obvious up close bar in this entire consolidation. If I bought this, I'm now stuck. All right, and I use that same exact method with every single trade that I take. I'm looking for the 3 push pattern, not because I'm looking for 3 pushes all over the place, but because the first push catches traders' attention, the second push drives them into an extreme, forces them to buy or sell at a worse price. The third push, latecomers come in, they bought at the worst possible place in the chart, and I'm going to look for evidence of that. And this is a really great example of that. And that is how I do every single entry, regardless of structure, higher highs, lower lows, anything like that. If I'm taking an entry, I'm looking for this psychology piece. Because, how would have I known that I was wrong Well, if this bar went down and I bought it, or excuse me, I sold it, and then the very next bar maybe consolidated and then did something like this, well, then I'm a part of the trap. I became part of the short trap, and now they've gone back up. They started releasing these people. So I can keep a very small, tight risk with this methodology or with this thought process compared to, in most other trading systems, you would say, well, I'm going to put my stop, I don't know, all the way up here, whatever. Which means that because I have a smaller stop, I'm capable of putting more size on that trade. I didn't need to let it go 100 ticks. I could have closed at 50 and been extremely happy with the day. But the chart told me not to do that. Okay, the chart told me that if we're going to expand this consolidation, that I can start looking for expansions of a range, 1 full expansion, 2 full expansions, and notice where I took profit down here. That second full expansion. Above that second push, Iceman. So above this bar is sufficient. So 1 bar stop. All right, so it's a 35 pip stop. That's larger than my max stop, so max 25. Just turned into a 1 to 5. Some little points that I'd like to just throw out there. Number 1, I tried taking trades on Platinum not only before 9:30, but before that news event. All right, so let's think about the psychology of that as well. I started taking trades on this, honestly, too early. That's fine. It didn't follow through. If it would have followed through, that would have been great. But I was very cautious about letting this come back against me because I was taking it so early. So when it wasn't following through, that was my key. Hey, you're in the first hour, you're before 9:30, you're before the news. I know from experience, and if you can go back and back test this yourself, of course, don't just take my word for it. But if you're trading before a news event, no matter how many hours before, the market tends to consolidate. They don't expand ranges. They're just trapping on both sides of a range, and then it'll follow through after the news. So this is a really good lesson, I suppose, in patience and waiting for that news event after 9:30. This is why I like to trade after 9:30, after those news events, because once that news event is done with, all of that consolidation, all that work that they've been doing to trap on both sides, they're now going to release one of those sides, either to the upside or the downside. And this is a perfect example of that. They built a box, they built a range, they built the pattern. All this before the news, getting people to short early, squeezing them out, forcing them to start buying instead, stopping out the shorts, and then finally making its run. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a fantastic stream. Fantastic trades around this US30 trade. Hopefully you all learned some stuff, or maybe you just wanted to be here to trade alongside, or listen to my thoughts along the way, or maybe you just are hanging out here because trading's lonely and you want to have someone to kind of chat with or whatever. For any of those reasons, I'm glad that you all been here. I've really enjoyed having you all here. Gonna be back again tomorrow and also on Friday, all this week, doing these live streams. So hopefully y'all can make it tomorrow. Really enjoyed the session, but I'm done trading for the day. It's time to get that workout in. Start getting some large amounts of food in my skinny body. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye-bye.